Good damn morning, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Get on that Linktree link in the description box. You can find me on Spotify, BitChute, and Rumble. And now, it's time for the #1 show on the internet. You already know. Here's your host, Jericho Green. That's where I come trotting out with one of those skinny microphones with the tiny top, the Bob Barker edition. Because on this episode of You Already Know, we're going to talk about what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. Because if Trump were in office, you already know this would not be happening. How do we know this wouldn't be happening with Trump in office? We know because it didn't happen with Trump in office. He pulled the bullshit in 2013 and 14 when Obama and Biden's pervertists were in office. He didn't pull shit when Trump was in office. Now he's pulling bullshit when Biden's pervertist is in office, in control this time. And I use that word control very loosely because I don't think he has full control over his bowels, let alone the United States. That's right, our grandpa-in-chief, Mr. Hey, this isn't the mall. This is how we do it. That fool. So with him in office, Russia is doing shit they've never done before. I wonder why that is. You think it's maybe because Trump didn't put up with that bullshit? Do you think because he let people know not only with his words, but his actions? How many times do we see him push his way to the front of a group of leaders? Like, you already know, you're staring at my balls and asshole. I'm the lead dog. Meanwhile, Biden's off to the side because he probably had an accident. Let alone, he ain't gonna push his way to the front of nothing unless it's a line for butterscotch pudding. Get the fuck out of here. And then they send Kamala, the Ugandan nightmare, over there to handle the situation. Hold up. Now, I know you guys like to borrow Eastern European terms like czar, and she's the border czar, but that doesn't mean you have to send her over there. The fuck is she gonna do? You know what? I'm wrong, you guys. Maybe there's something she can do. Maybe her powers of cackling, her gah. Maybe it's like that, like sleep torture and stuff that they do to detainees. Shit like that. You know, they'll play heavy metal music and then they'll flood their cell so they have to stand up and they can't lay down. The water will be over their bed so they have to stand up for hours. Sleep deprivation. Audio torture. Maybe that's what they're going to do. Maybe they're going to send her over there and she's going to go, gah. And they're like, hey, British, okay, please. We draw troops back aboard mission. Please, make her stop. Tell her to shut her lips. Both lips, upstairs and downstairs. Please. Maybe that's what they're going to do. Maybe they're sending over there to do what she does best. I don't know. But I certainly wouldn't send the worst vice president in history to such a serious situation. Or maybe it's not that serious at all. Maybe Putin, he figured this is a good time for me to get some attention. They ain't gonna do shit. And that's why he did it. Meanwhile, our president, that tasted disgusting. He's talking about they're gonna invade, it's imminent, here we go, we're gonna hit them with some sanctions. But then you have the president of Ukraine who is staring down the barrel of the Russian forces saying, chill the fuck out. So who should we listen to? The people who are closest to the fight or the people that have something to gain from it? Because don't get it twisted, they don't mind a war. That means all the people they owe favors to will have their pockets fattened. Just like the past wars that we've had, Afghanistan, Iraq, and all that bullshit. How do we kick Iraq's ass in 3 weeks in 1990, but we're over there for 10, 15 years in the 2000s? That don't make any sense. I thought weapons technology advanced, not regressed. But anyway, I don't think it's as bad as they're saying, as usual. Because the president of the Ukraine is saying, whoa, what are you talking about? Relax, stop talking like that. You're going to cause some shit to happen that's not even going to happen. And then they tell us, well, Russia's crept over the border of Ukraine and took over part of it. But then it turns out that those areas are friendly to Russia. So is it really an invasion? And where are the mainstream mediocres? Trump sent out a mean tweet. They're talking about World War III. Biden sends troops to the damn border. They're quiet as a dead church mouse. You tell me. But one thing we know for sure, if Trump was in office, this wouldn't even be a thing. Because they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't act like that because they know Trump will do it. He will drone. Remember General Salami? You'll be whistling Dixie, and next thing you know, whoa, wait, where all these 72 virgins come from? They knew he would keep his word. He would follow up. If he told people in a country not to do something, or this would happen, and they did it, that would happen. What's a sanction? What does that mean? What does that mean? What's a sanction to Vladimir fucking Putin? He doesn't care. We're not even one of his trading partners. What does he care? Now, if Germany did something, that would get his attention because they're partners with them, taking all their fuel, the oil. But wait a minute. Isn't there a pipeline somewhere in the middle of the country that we had and it was up and running and we were net exporters of energy, of fuel for the first time in I don't know how long? Didn't we have that? Didn't we already kick Russia in their nuts? Forget a sanction. We take their trading partners. That's how you affect somebody like that. Not a sanction. What does that even mean? Hey, don't do that. I'm gonna put a sanction on you. The fuck? We already had this fool by the nuts. We already took care of Russia. But first day in office, first day, what did Biden and his perverters do? He canceled the Keystone Pipeline. What did that do? That made Russia's cash go like this. And that made us put our hat in our hand. Oh, please, Mr. OPEC, I won't even look you in the eyes. Please, Mr. OPEC, can you let a little more oil flow? Why would you put yourself in a position to go begging somebody for some other shit when you have your own? More than you will ever need. More than all the oil producing countries in the world. In the world, Craig. Now, energy independence, fuck that, it's overrated. Let's go hat in hand begging countries that push gay people off of buildings. But wait a minute, what about the LGBT alphabet soup group? I thought they cared. Don't give a fuck. None of this would even be happening. Russia wouldn't even be in the headlines, aside from the mainstream mediocres lying about them having dealings with Trump. That's the only way they would be in the news. Not talking about them being on the border of the Ukraine. What are we going to do? Is Ukraine going to join NATO or not? Fuck NATO. There is no NATO. It's us. And again, what was Trump doing? Trump was making NATO pay their fair share. Imagine that. Imagine a president, a U.S. president, ending the extortion that we go through with other countries involved in NATO. You know who was paying the bill? You know which end of the table they slid that check to when the dinner was done? It came to us, and we covered that shit. But Trump said, whoa, hold up. I didn't order that. I didn't order that, and I didn't order that. Whoever did, you're paying for it. That's nothing crazy. It's not groundbreaking. It's called paying your fair damn share. But that was then. This is now. Now we have this weakling that's going to let Russia do whatever the fuck they want. And you know what? It's going to be real bad, real bad, when we have to send our men and women to the Ukraine-Russia border to die for some bullshit. Because had you kept the Keystone Pipeline, we wouldn't even have to care about what Russia does. Because they would be too damn weak to do it. But you gave it right back to them. You threw them back the keys to the city. 80 million people, huh? 80 million, all 80 million of you who voted for Biden, get out here. You get up and go to the front of the class so we can see your faces. I just came from the gas station and paid over $5 a gallon for gasoline. Have they changed the way that they process the gasoline? Have they changed the way that they transport it? What happened to now I just paid over $5 for a gallon of gas? When a year ago, man, I don't even want to talk about the past. It's like getting your paycheck. You don't even pay attention to the gross. Just look at the net. Terrible. We are in trouble. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to JerichoGreen.net. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.